Today we're looking at phrasal verbs with at. Very often they're negative. So if you keep on at someone to do their homework, maybe you keep on at your children to do their homework, you nag them to do your homework, to do their homework. You nag them, you keep on at them, you bother them with your demands, okay? And you could say, I kept on at him, I went on at him, I was on at him every day to do his homework. All of those expressions are acceptable. And so this on at, it really means to nag someone with your demands. If you shout at someone or scream at someone or yell at someone, you attack them verbally. And by the way, there are some ways of looking here. If you frown at someone, I've written them down here. If you stare at someone or glare at someone or frown at someone, they're also quite mean ways of looking, quite negative. So this is negative and all of these are going to be negative. At is very negative. If you scream or shout or yell at someone, you attack them verbally. If you have a go at someone, then you shout at them, you scream at them, and you are not happy with them. Maybe you're telling them off for something that they've done. If somebody comes at you with a knife, he attacks you. If somebody runs at you, he's going to punch you or kick you or attack you in some kind of way. And once he's done that, you might decide to get your own back. You might get back at him by hitting him, or you might hit back at him immediately and start punching him. So I hope you realise that this is all connected with fighting or attacking or yelling. It's all pretty negative. And if we look at throw at, if somebody throws a ball to you, you'll probably catch it because it's a nice thing to do. But if somebody throws a ball at you, they're attacking you, they're throwing it at you to hurt you in some kind of way. And it would be exactly the same with kick. Footballers kick the ball to each other, they pass the ball, they kick the ball to their own players. But if they're just playing around, if they're just playing at being footballers, if they're just not doing it seriously and having a laugh, then they might kick the ball at each other, and in which case they are actually aiming at the other players and they probably want to hurt them in some kind of way. Now, I think this is quite similar as well. Drive at. If you drive your car at a tree, it means you aim the car to hit the tree, to crash into the tree. And so it could mean that, but a second meaning of drive at is just mean. If you say, what are you driving at? It means, what do you mean? I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean? So what are you driving at? It means, what do you mean? And it's exactly the same as what are you getting at, which also means mean. So both of those can mean mean. Aim at, you aim your gun at someone in order to shoot them, or you aim your bow and arrow at someone. So aim at is usually pretty negative and usually involves attacking. If the recent financial crisis has chipped away at your profits, it has reduced your profits gradually over time. It's gradually reduced these ones, gradually erode, gradually reduce or lessen or weaken. Okay, so if the river is eating away at the riverbank, it's eroding the river. It's gradually reducing the size of the riverbank. Reduce or weaken. If somebody is pecking at their food, they have no appetite and they're eating it quite slowly and, not with any kind of real desire for food. So it sounds like they have no appetite. If somebody talks at you, then there's no dialogue and they're not interested in what you want to say. And so again, it's very negative. Yeah, if somebody talks at you, it means that they're not a very nice person. They don't like listening to other people. Maybe they just like the sound of their own voice. Now, if somebody clutches at something or grabs at something, it means they desperately try to hold on to something. They desperately try to grab something. And we have an idiom here, to clutch at straws, which means to try anything at all to avoid a terrible situation, to avoid dire consequences. You try anything that you can, you clutch at straws. The idea is that the straw won't hold your weight and you're falling down a hole and you're clutching at straws, but it's no good. You're just trying to do the impossible. So to clutch at straws, to try anything to avoid a difficult situation. Now, if you're only playing at something, if you're only playing at being a teacher, it means you're just pretending to be a teacher, or you're doing it not seriously in some kind of way. Maybe your heart's not in it, you're half-hearted, and you're not really serious about becoming a teacher, so you're just playing at being a teacher. But it could also mean pretend, and I think adults also use this with children. They say, "What are you playing at?" And it means, what are you getting up to? What are you doing which is naughty in some kind of way? So this can also be used like get up to. If you work hard at something, you continually work at it, continually, in order to get it finished. So it sounds like it's really quite hard, something that involves everyday training and practice. Every day you have to keep at it, you have to stick at it, you have to continue your efforts to do it. So very similar here, there's a connection here. Get at someone can mean a number of different things. If somebody gets at you, it may mean that they upset you. And if somebody gets at the witnesses, it may mean that they persuade them not to testify, so they upset them in some way. Maybe the mafia got at them. But they're pretty, well, upset's very common, but I think this is just a form of upset, really, persuade the witness not to testify. It can also mean, yeah, what are you getting at? And very occasionally, it can mean reach or get to, but get to is more common for reach. You might say, I couldn't get at the book on the top of the wardrobe, but you could say I couldn't get to it as well. I couldn't reach it. So both okay. Okay, and we're back to the beginning again. So I've done all of those quite quickly. If anybody has any questions about them, please put them under the video, and I'll do my best to answer any questions about these words. But please, as always, like I always say, there are lots more examples in the dictionary. I'm never going to be as good as a dictionary. I'm just trying to collect as many words as possible so that they can be systematically learned. But dictionaries will have much better examples than I'll ever have, and I check the dictionary if I'm not sure how to explain something, and usually I think, yeah, that's a good explanation. So please use a dictionary, and please ask if you're not sure if it sounds good in a sentence. Just put it under the video. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.